everybody, it's Katie. I find myself with some extra time on my hands. We actually had a snow day yesterday and everything is still snowy, but it's melting now, and the kids were like so excited and so into it yesterday that August is wanting to sleep a little bit more than usual. He is taking a long, what hopefully will be a long winter's nap right now. So I thought I would take the moment to update you guys on some really big changes in our lives that are going on now or kind of coming down the pike. First of all, as a follow-up to my last video where I talked about kind of scaling back my channel, that still stands. I'm gonna sort of do what I can and what feels right, but you know, I'm not sticking to any sort of like regular upload commitment. I won't say schedule. I've never done a schedule, but like I don't have like an expectation for myself for how many videos I'm doing a week or anything like that. I'm just gonna let it happen, I guess. But I did want to thank everybody, of course, for like the support and the comments on that video, especially people who told me sort of like their story of how maybe the first video of mine that they found, or like how they connected with me in the first place. Those things are so meaningful to me, so I really appreciate you taking the time and, you know, and telling me those things. So the biggest thing in our lives right now is that we have decided to greenlight the move that we talked about and considered all last year. At this point, we're planning to sell our house and be out of here sometime in the early spring. I'm not going to talk about specifics too much on here or anywhere really until it's a done deal, but that's the plan. All last year we were sort of operating under, like, Mike was very aggressively searching for jobs, but we didn't plan to move without a job. And there was one that was very, very promising, and we sort of got all geared up to, you know, get the house in order to sell and stuff, and then that job fell through. He went for a second interview, like flying across the country last minute for a second interview, and they told him that he ended up being the number 2 choice out of 400 people that they considered, which is amazing. But of course, there's no runner-up job. So yeah, we definitely went through a period of being pretty disappointed about that. We spent so the move I'm talking about is to move back to my hometown of Cleveland, Ohio. It's where my family, my parents, and my brother sometimes lives. And we were there for Christmas, and it just really feels like my parents are approaching a point where they probably will need more help. It would, of course, be nice for us to have more help with the kids, but I kind of feel like at this point, like, the scales might be tipping more towards just us needing to be there, just so that they have more support. So yeah, so that sort of lit a fire under us, and also just we just really need a change. We're really ready to go. So we have been working. I've been super motivated, chugging away like every day at little projects to get things kind of fixed up and organized and packed up already. And yeah, I've been feeling really good about it. I've been, like I said, I've just been moving right along. There's a whole bunch of things we still need to do, but it feels good. It's a little bit scary to think about, you know, taking that plunge without having a job lined up, but I also think it's easier to get a job when you have a local address and when you can be there and, you know, go out and meet people and talk to people and whatever, do that. So that's the plan. We are really excited about it. You know, there's just going to be a lot of up in the air for a while, but that's how it goes. Other big change right now is that I have had a change with my job schedule for the past, I guess, 3 years or something, since I returned to work after Alice was born. So, gosh, almost 4 years ago, I guess. I have been working 2 mornings a week in the office for my boss. I work in an immigration law practice. And, you know, my boss has many times over the years asked me like when I would be able to come back full time, and I've been very upfront with, you know, the fact that my priority at this point in my life, yes, I need the paycheck, but my priority at this point in my life is my family and my kids, because I just don't feel like I know I'm not going to get these years back. So while my kids are young, they come first, and what that means for me is that I want to spend more time at home and rely less on childcare from outside. So Mike was under a lot of pressure. He would watch, you know, one or both kids during those 8 hours a week when I was working out of the house. And the change is that I am no longer going into the office. So I'm still doing some work at home, but it's like after hours stuff. So I am a full-time stay-at-home mom now. I've never really had that, and I don't know how long it'll last. You know, when we get settled in our new place, depending on what kind of job Mike has and just what our whole situation is like, I may do part-time work again, who knows. But for right now, like, I'm riding it out and I love it. I don't know, no complaints so far. And I still have like a little bit of work. I have a little bit of a paycheck still happening to help support the family. But I don't know, it feels like a really good move for me right now, especially with all the move and stuff. I've got some extra time now to just be at home and get stuff done and sort of move us towards that goal. In terms of the kids, they're now sharing a room. We moved August's crib around the new year. We moved his crib into Alice's room and kind of transitioned that room over to just be like the kids' room. We felt like that would help with staging our house to sell, like rather than having a crib in the master bedroom. We only have 2 bedrooms, so we really wanted, like, for a prospective buyer to see like the master bedrooms just set up as a master bedroom and not a kids' room. So he remains a very bad sleeper. He wakes up a lot in the night, but Alice amazingly almost never wakes up. Like, he doesn't wake her up. So overall, it's working really well. He's just still about 10 feet away from our bed, so it's not like a huge change, but it just feels good for me and Mike to have like our space again and be able to like have the light on before we go to bed and talk and read and things like that, and just have it feel like our, like a couple space. So and Alice hasn't had any sort of ill feelings about sharing her space or anything like that. Actually, she's pretty psyched every morning to kind of like wake up and see him across the room in his crib, and they're 2 peas in a pod. For right now, Alice is still in preschool because she loves it so much. One of the videos I intended to do was like talking about sort of why we put her in preschool at 3 years old and how the adjustment has gone, all that stuff. Bottom line is that she really likes it. Actually, she wants to stay longer. She has friends who stay, like, instead of getting picked up at 2:45, they get picked up at 5:30 or something like that, and she's been asking to stay with them. And I'm like, no, you get to be with me at that time, okay? But yeah, so, it's possible that now that I'm home and we don't need the childcare, she could stay home with me, but she really doesn't want to. So for right now, she's going to stay with school. That gives me a lot of one-on-one time with August. He is like walking. He's very lazy, basically. Like, he can walk. He's perfectly competent. He just chooses not to most of the time, which, whatever. He's going to be walking for the rest of his life. So he just hasn't hit kind of like that tipping point where he goes from like, tentatively walking and then falling back and crawling and like hitting the point where he just like full on walks. But other than that, this is just like a wonderful time. I absolutely love, like, from 1 year to 2 year, like that span of time, that sort of early toddlerhood or whatever it is. Especially, I know Mike and I always say, like, our favorite phase with Alice, I mean, they're all good, but I think our favorite phase with her was from when she was 15 to 18 months. So August is just about like in that sweet spot, and it's just so cool. You can see him change every day and just acquire new skills so quickly, and it's so cool. He is a really funny guy. He has a temper. He is just throwing all-out tantrums a lot, which is kind of scary if he's already doing that at 14 months old. This is like more like, 2-year-old, 3-year-old stuff, but I guess we make intense kids. What else can I say about Alice besides school stuff? She is suddenly kind of having interest in reading. She is like asking about words and trying to sound out words and stuff, and completely on her own. This isn't something they're doing in school. This isn't something I've done any kind of pushing on whatsoever, but, she's just been interested in like kind of letters and sounds. She's been pretty verbal from a young age. It's just sort of an interest or whatever. She's so socially oriented. It's just always about, asking what other people are up to and drawing pictures and wanting to give them to specific people, like people we don't even know very well. And I know she just always has like other people on her mind. She amazes me every day how like capable she is. I feel like she can just do everything already at this point. The word that keeps coming to mind to kind of describe our family life at this point is just that it's like our family has finally hit a point where it has its own momentum. I think when Alice was younger, when August was younger and there was like a little bit more developmentally, like more of a gap between the two of them, I felt like I needed to kind of like proactively kind of guide what everybody was doing all the time. And it was, things didn't just kind of flow as naturally as they do now. And now it's like we all get up in the morning and everybody sort of does their own thing, but also sort of is like all just on the same page. Like the whole group kind of moves together through the day, and we just have a lot of fun and things just feel good, you know? It's less like intentional effort. It's just that things just unfold like kind of freely, and it's wonderful. So I think that sums up kind of where we are right now and the big and small of what everybody is doing and where we're going and things like that. I hope everybody's new year sort of is off to a good start. Cheers as you work on your goals and things. I've been enjoying watching people's goals videos. It's something I used to love doing, and maybe someday in the future I'll do it again. For now, just take care, guys. Bye.